Welcome to today's training. I'm really excited to get started and to walk you through how to build a strong brand and lasting connections in home staging and mastering stories to attract your dream clients. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and we're just going to jump right in. So, a little bit about me if you don't know me. My name is Lori, and I am the owner and founder of Boss Babe Creative, who helps boss babes build the business that they love through social media, marketing, and branding. I'm a natural born hype girl, photographer, and producer with over 20 years of design and marketing, sales and business development, and coaching experience. I've spent the last decade coaching home staging business owners on how to build a business that they love. And before that, I worked in real estate. I specialize in helping staging business owners build a business they love through branding and social media. All right, so areas of expertise. Brand creation. I love building strong brands, brand visibility, getting you seen, and social media. Curating beautiful feeds that articulate the value of home staging. So, how many of you use Instagram? I'm sure if you're here watching this, then you definitely do use Instagram. Something about this class and this teaching brought you here. How many of you post on your feed every day? I know the struggle is real, but it is so important that you are consistently posting. Now, how many of you post reels every day? I know the struggle is real with that. Real, with that as well. How many of you post stories every day? I'm hoping that all of you say yes that watch this, but the real fact about it is we tend to forget. So here's a real question for you. How many of you hate posting just in general? Yeah, I know. How many of you don't know what to post? That's probably a big one for a lot of people. They just don't know what to post. They don't have time to think about what they're going to post. All right, well, today we're going to talk about specifically the power platform for home stagers. Instagram is a powerhouse for home stagers because it is a visual first platform, perfect for showcasing beautifully staged homes, which is what you do. So let's go through why it's critical that you are utilizing Instagram and this powerhouse platform to your best interest. So number one is just the visual appeal opportunity. So home staging is all about creating visuals for home buyers to see how they can live in the listing that they are viewing. Instagram thrives on eye-catching visuals. It allows you, the home stager, to showcase your work through high-quality photos and videos, capturing the attention of potential clients, realtors, and home buyers. It is a portfolio at your client's fingertips. So Instagram is your live portfolio. Potential clients can scroll through and instantly see your work, the value you bring, and the transformations you've made. This instant access, it builds trust and credibility for your business and your brand. And if you don't think that your business is a brand, you are wrong. It attracts your ideal audience, your target audience reach, because homeowners, buyers, sellers, property owners, whatever, are highly active on Instagram, searching for inspiration and services. They're on there all the time. By using the right hashtags and geotags, tagging locations that you serve, you can attract your ideal audience, including local realtors and homeowners. Brand authority, one of my favorite things to talk about. Consistently posting valuable content and behind the scenes shots of your process helps establish you as an expert in the industry. It humanizes your brand, allowing potential clients to connect with you on a personal level. I just camp here just for a second and talk about this. One of the biggest struggles in the home staging industry is articulating the value of your services in order to get paid the amount of money that even just takes to go out and stage the gas for the truck, the payroll for the staff, your inventory, all of that, right, has to be articulated somehow, some way to realtors and sellers in order for you to actually get paid what you're worth. And so showing specific things on your Instagram, before and afters, educating your followers, finished products, home sales that you stage for over the asking price or in a certain amount of days, all of those things combined go to the point that your services are valuable and you are worth the amount you're asking. So just a little bit of a soapbox there. All right. Engagement and growth. So Instagram's interactive features such as stories, reels, and DMs allow for real-time engagement. This direct communication can lead to inquiries, bookings, and collaboration. So, did you know, this is such a great fact. Did you know that 60% of Instagram users discover new products and services on the platform? And they legit have 130 million users interacting with service related posts each month. Each month, 130 million opportunities for you out there. It's clear that visual driven content plays a significant role in consumer decision making. Now, I know I don't have to tell you that how important it is to have a perfectly staged home, right? A staged home shows buyers how to live in a listing, how to make a house a home. It makes sense to the buyers, which then leads to home selling faster and for more money. I want to challenge you today. Think about your Instagram feeds the same way. A perfectly curated Instagram allows realtors to make sense of why they should use you and articulates the value of what you do. So here's the problem. So many of you are not using Instagram properly, but never fear, Lori G is here. Let's talk about home staging business, how home staging business owners can properly utilize this platform to build the business they love. All right, so here is the Instagram matrix. I had a matrix moment. I'm going to take you through how to organize or what you should be posting where in your Instagram. So, grid post. I am so obsessed with having a beautifully curated grid. So your grid, that's when people go to your Instagram page and they see all those pretty photos, I hope. So that's your visual portfolio. That's professional images, educational posts, and before and afters. Reels is your HGTV channel. It's property walkthroughs, documentary style videos, bloopers, and fun. Your stories, which we're going to focus on today, is truly about relationship building. Daily updates, day in the life, professional, personal posts, and engagements. Now, highlights. That's your vault. That's where when people come to your Instagram page and they see a profile header that says exactly what you do, who you serve, and how you can help them. Right underneath that is going to be highlight buttons. Now, every time you do a story and it's something that you want to save for later, you're going to save it to that highlight button. So any stories you want to save for later that educate, or maybe you're walking through a property, you do a story about it, then you save it to that property's maybe city. So maybe it's Las Vegas and you want to, so this house is in Las Vegas. So you have a whole highlight button that says Las Vegas. All your properties in Las Vegas, or maybe it's even broken down into cities. In Las Vegas, there's Centennial Hills, but it's still in Las Vegas. You get what I'm saying? And you can save stuff there. So if you have a realtor that serves that area, they can go into that highlight and look and see what you've done in that neighborhood. Very smart, by the way. Okay, so enhancing your feed. Let's break this down. Your feed, your perfectly curated, pretty feed, should be consisting of your brand consistency, visual storytelling, and high quality photos. So brand consistency, how do you create brand consistency? When your social media manager, or AKA you or one of your staff, goes to start to curate feed for your Instagram page, they need to make sure that they're using your brand colors, fonts, and filters that match your brand identity. Secondly, each post should visually narrate the value your business brings to the real estate industry. And when you can, use high quality photos, whether you pay for them from the photographer that takes the pictures of the property, whether you offer photography to your realtors and you get a copy of it, you always want to have as high quality as possible. And if you can't afford it, if it's not in the budget, don't trip potato chip. It's okay. Just for the love of everything good in this world, clean your lens and not with your finger before you shoot the room with your phone. All right, capturing real attention quickly on Instagram. So you should be scheduling reels into your marketing plan for your business. So Instagram is pushing reels as a priority for reach. So they want people to do reels. And they're great for home stagers because they allow you to show quick property walkthroughs, documentary style videos, bloopers, and fun. So, Reels ideas for home stagers, before and after, staging tips, behind the scenes. And then another little bonus is, as much as you can, use trending audio and music that's trending right now for your Reels, because that's going to boost your visibility. But also incorporate Tampa real estate market trends, because if you are staging in the Tampa area, or if you're watching this from another state, you just want to make sure that you're incorporating your local area, because that's also going to attract realtors, sellers that are in that actual area. That's your geotagging. Relationship and trust building. All right, so why stories matter. Stories, although temporary, they can be personal and interactive, making them perfect for creating engagement and building relationship. So those of you that have a significant other, think about how you met. You interacted with each other. Maybe you were kind of nervous when you first started dating, but you talked, or maybe you got to that sweet spot where you're on the phone for 10 million years. And you're like, no, you hang up. No, you hang up. I know it's for some of us. That was a very long time ago, but it's a real thing. And then you get more comfortable. You start to let your guard down a little bit. It's more easier for you to just talk to that person, right? And then you guys decide you're going to start dating. You make it serious. You get engaged, get married, blah, 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 blah. Think of stories that way. You're trying through Instagram stories to build a relationship. So what does a relationship take? It takes vulnerability. It takes time, energy, communication. It takes all of those things. So stories is a great way to do this. You definitely can be vulnerable. You can share your struggles on Instagram, but just always run a filter through, is this ultimately going to promote my business or have a negative effect on me? And it just shows your human side. Stories let people see the face behind the business, and people really want to know, like, and trust who they're working with. So, how do we do stories the right way? I'm so glad you asked. So, number one, check-ins. Every day when you're working at the office, maybe you're in your vehicle at drop off for your kids, maybe you're at home working from home, but every day do a check-in. Let your followers know what you're working on, whether, excuse me, it's staging a meeting, you're meeting a realtor, prepping for a new project. If you want to see someone who does this really, really well, follow Olive and Opal on Instagram. Melinda, every day, I know I'm going to see a story of her in her vehicle after she dropped off her kids at school, and she's going to give me an update of what she's doing that day, what she's looking forward to, what they're working on. And the thing that I see is so brilliant about this is she's articulating the value of their business by being consistent every day, showing up, being busy, sharing challenges, but things they're really good at and things that they're excited for. So I think it's just so very important for you to do that. All right, polls and questions. So use story features like polls, quizzes, to get your audience involved. For example, literally can have two pictures on top of each other that says, which room do you think needs the most staging, the living room or the kitchen? Well, we know the answer to that. Stage them both. But what's the most important room in the house? Or even asking your followers, which room in your house do you spend the most amount of time in? And then a second story could be, which room in your house do you have the best memories in? Now keep it clean, people. I'm thinking living room or kitchen. People have or dining room. People have family dinners, Christmas, holidays are spent in the living room. Like all of those things have an emotional tie to them. And therefore, they are so important that those rooms, which we know as the heart of the home, get staged every time when you're working with a realtor. Behind the scenes footage. I cannot stress this enough. I can also tell you I cannot count the amount of times that I've heard people say they don't want to do behind the scenes footage because it's not professional. They're hot, they're sweaty, they don't have their makeup done, they don't have their hair done. Well, listen up, Buttercup. Nothing articulates the hard work of staging a home than a behind the scenes. You can do a time lapse. You can do snippets. You can have someone like me come in and shadow you for the day and just take pictures of your people doing what you do, showing the hard work. It's so important. And then education. Educating your followers on your stories is so important. If you know you're about to stage a property in the neighborhood, you can maybe educate your followers about what's happening in the neighborhood, a new coffee shop that's coming up, how cool it is. You're literally adding marketing value to what you do when you're helping a realtor by talking about how cool the neighborhood is that they're about to put a listing in and how you're excited to stage it. In addition, you can talk about all of your statistics that you get from your association that you're a part of why home staging is so important. Also, market trends. You can always look up local market trends and do a story about that as well. Organize and strategize. So, story highlights. I mentioned this a little bit before, but when we're thinking about relationship building stories, being consistent on stories and wanting to capture some of that stuff, not only because it will be great to file into one of your story highlights, but also to repurpose later. So that will save you some time later when you can just click on one of those highlights and whatever stories say there, you can reshare it again and again and again, and people would never even know. So you want to organize them. Maybe you do before and after, testimonials, behind the scenes, staging tips, realtor collaborations. Maybe there's several cities. Like in my area, there's so many cities right next to each other. We have Chino Hills, Chino, Eastvale, Ontario, Upland. Like we're all within 10 miles of each other. Like so many little cities next to each other. So if I was a stager, I might put Chino Hills as one of my story highlights. And every time I stage a house in Chino Hills, I would then save any content and photos, reels, anything to that highlight button, so that if a realtor that is in Chino Hills says, I want to see what houses they staged in this area, because believe you me, they are little undercover stalkers. They're going to go look at that and see the amazing work that you did, the houses that you staged, the process of it, all of that good stuff. And this gives your audience a place to find the best and most relevant content at any time. So don't sleep on your story highlights. And if you can, try to keep them as relevant and updated as possible. So, call to action. Stories and call to action. Encourage your followers when you are talking to them on stories to DM you for a free consultation or a free, whatever resource that you have for them, maybe a pre-selling checklist to discuss upcoming listings, whatever that looks like. Just have the call to action. All you have to say is, if you want more information, send me a DM. I'll get back to you right away. And there's also apps that you can link to your Instagram that you could say, DM me the word stage and I will get you this information, or I will get you this free resource. And like one of them is ManyChat. You can go in and anytime in your DMs it says stage, it will automatically send that to them. So it kind of cuts down your process of having to do stuff and saves you time. Also, an example would be, got a new listing coming up. Let's chat about how home staging can make a difference. One of the big things I always tell my clients is to constantly talk about how staging is marketing. So, and how my specific phrases I think are really important that I've come up with is showing buyers how to live in the listing. So the reason I say not the home, not the house, the listing, because the listing is what the realtor has, right? And the buyers need to know how to live in that listing so that they will put an offer in on it. Secondly, making a house a home. The house is the object. So when we're thinking about sellers, there's so many emotional ties to having a home that we want to depersonalize that for them. So we want for buyers for them to just see a house, but when they walk in and see your staging, they know that this is home. So there's specific things that might be one of the keywords that you put in your story, like DM me home to see how we can turn your listing into somebody's dream home, something along that line. All right, now let's keep it funky. This is one of my favorite parts of this presentation because if you know me, you know your girl loves to keep it funky. The real reason you're not doing stories. So in order to fix and or change or grow, every person needs to admit and own the reason why they're not doing it. And I have this conversation a lot of times before I do a photo shoot. So I always ask, going into a photo shoot, a brand shoot, or whatever that might look like, hey, client that I think is so amazing and wonderful and gorgeous and all of the things, what do you like about yourself? If they were asking me, I'd be like, yo, I got the wings. I'm at that age. Things are starting to droop. I don't want the under the chin and I don't want the bakery showing. Like if you see a roll, that's not cool. I'm honest with it. I own it. It is who I am. And I want my brand photographer to highlight me in my best light. Just like home staging highlights the home in its best light. Funky out layouts, all of that. We come in, stagers put furniture in. People don't even realize that it has that funky nook over there because you have made sense of it. So when you're doing stories, these are the top reasons I have heard over the last 10 years why people aren't getting on camera. So, number one, lack of confidence on camera. You may feel uncomfortable being on camera, which is essential for Instagram. It's a visual first platform. So you might be reserved, or you may be reserved and want to stay behind the scenes. I cannot tell you the amount of times I have had people tell me, I'm just kind of behind the scenes. I'm an introvert. No, it ain't about you, boo boo. It's about your business. You just happen to be the face of the business. So you have to get over whatever that insecurity. You just have to really be real with yourself. And thankfully, Instagram has 1,000,001 different filters if you need a little boost of confidence. I do it all the time. And I don't see a problem with it. It's not like you're on Instagram to date somebody and you're catfishing them. No, you're just cleaning up the lines a little bit. You're just bringing in the chin a little bit. Don't worry about it. But you need to be in front of the camera or the person in your business that is in charge of being the face of the business. They need to be on camera. So just take a deep breath and just jump on like you're talking to a friend. I mean, if you're in TJ Maxx buying a bunch of accessories, you have 2 carts full, and your favorite realtor walks into TJ Maxx and you see them and they're coming up for you, you're not going to go run and hide behind the cart and say, I'm just kind of a behind the scenes girl. Don't talk to me. No, you're going to have a conversation with that person. So I want you to think about that as you get the anxiety, the nervousness in your chest, and you're like, oh, I gotta get on here. I don't want to do it. Don't worry about it, girl or guy. You got this. Just talk to the camera like it's your friend. Sorry, I'm a little passionate about that one. All right, time constraints. Girl, I know the struggle is real. Running a home staging business is demanding, and taking the time to consistently create engaging Instagram stories may feel like an additional task. They simply don't have the time. You simply just don't have the time. The thing is, you showing you don't have the time is a great time to do an Instagram story. But there are also resources where you could take 1 hour, 30 minutes of one day set aside to create a bunch of stories. Save them on your phone, save them as a draft in your Instagram, and you can just repost those later. It doesn't have to be live every time. A story is just something that comes up in the stories and disappears in 24 hours unless you save it to a highlight button. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Fear of technology. I think I looked up the statistic, and the average age range of a home staging business owner, I think, said 36 to 60. So I'm in that category, and I know the fear of technology is a real deal Holyfield thing. Well, never fear. Just take it one step at a time, learn one thing at a time. And when you are like, nope, girl, I don't even have a smartphone. I have a dumb phone. Whatever that looks like, then you just need to hire in your weakness. You need to partner with somebody like myself, a local content creator, and let them do their thing. It's the same as a realtor trying to be a stager. That's not their highest and best. That's not their lane. That's why they need to hire you. Same with social media. If you're not good at it, if you hate technology, if you refuse to learn, that is all your right. Hire someone to do it for you. Lack of perceived value. Oh, don't get us started on that, right? So you may not see the direct business value in using Instagram stories, especially if they feel that their target audience is not active on the platform. Out of all of the platforms, now it is true, you do need to know where your clients are. So, are your clients on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok? Where are your clients? You should be catering first to that platform. But secondly, even if you don't think that social media is cool, if you hate it, if it makes you want to throw up and pull your hair out, that's okay. But guess what? Instagram was literally created as a visual platform for people to see what you do. And so this is where everybody always has their phone in their hand. Everybody is on a app, a platform, one or the other. So even if you don't feel like you have value or you see value in it, you really are missing out. Now, I had a conversation with my marketing coach. She's been doing marketing for 20 years. We were talking about how people in this very situation feel like Instagram, I don't need to post on Instagram. I only post like once a week. This is what we realized. Our society is a microwave society. You can put anything in the microwave and it's done in under 3 minutes. Well, it takes time. Building a customer base, building your brand credibility takes time. It's not a microwavable thing. You can't just overnight become super successful unless you have one random reel that goes viral. But here's the thing. It goes viral, but for that moment. That does not mean that every real story and post after it is going to go viral. You may get a little bit of compensation for that one reel, but it's off of views and not necessarily off of relationships you build with realtors who will stay loyal to you, who will use you time and time again. So if you don't see the value in showing up every single day to tell realtors, sellers, home builders in your area, look at this. I can help you. I have a product and a service that can rock your world, that will get you a paycheck in your pocket faster, that will help you get off the MLS faster, if you don't see the value in posting how hard you work, how much you help people, your design, how you turn blah into beautiful, then you really need to ask yourself, what am I doing this for? Because if you're not posting on a regular basis on some type of platform, you're not going to get seen. Unless, I don't know, if there's a miracle. Literally, your platforms are like the yellow pages and billboards of our younger days. So, all right, overwhelmed by content creation? Oh, yeah, that's one of the reasons why people don't create stories, don't get on and be personable, because they are overwhelmed thinking about my hair doesn't look good today, my skin is greasy, I feel bloated, I ate too much last night. I didn't feel like putting makeup on. I'm hot and sweaty. I'm at this stage. I got puddle pits, whatever. It's so stressful. I just have so much anxiety. I have too much to do. I got to do this. I got to do payroll. I got to pull for this. I got to reach out to this realtor. I got to. You got to make time. Okay. So creating content for Instagram stories includes video, behind the scenes footage, and interactive features like polls and Q&A. All of that, yeah, it is overwhelming, but it is essential to building a business and a brand that realtors, sellers, and home builders will want to come back to and keep you on auto dial. You have to make time and breathe out, breathe in. Don't sweat it. It's literally like you're talking to your friend. So, can you relate to any of these? Keep it funky. I can relate to every single one of them. That's why I know it's true. I have coached business owners for the staging business owners for the last 6 years, and I have heard every one of those excuses. But today is when the excuses stop. So, guess what? You're not alone. Sometimes you just need a little help and permission. So I am here to help you and give you permission to shine. I am here to tell you, don't worry about how you look that day. Nobody cares. They just want to know what you have to say. They like you. They're following you for a reason. Everybody needs to see the behind the scenes of how hard you and your team works at what they do. And if you're not articulating that visually and putting it out into your marketing plan, which equals your social media platforms, nobody's ever going to pay you what you're worth. So I am here today to say, hey, I'm here to help remind you, you got this, boo. Just do the thing. You have permission. So many times we stay behind the curtain. We hide. We're behind that basket. We're the behind the scenes, the introvert. But every once in a while, we'll get around a sphere of people that give us permission to shine. They make us feel comfortable in doing the things that we need to do to be successful. And that's what I'm saying. I am here for you. I don't want you to feel uncomfortable. I want to help you if you need to hire someone to help you with that. I can coach your staff, your team to make sure that being they're being ambitious and a little aggressive in making sure you get content done. But we all just need a little help and permission sometimes. So, if you have any questions, I'm here for you. You can email me, send me a DM, whatever that looks like. Now, if you watch this whole presentation, you can scan this QR code and get 20 Instagram story prompts. Basically, you're just going to take those prompts and you are going to pick one a day for 28 days, jump on your phone, start an Instagram story, and you're going to talk about them. So, thank you so much for following along. If you have any questions, if you need some coaching, if you're looking for a social media gal, I'm your girl. I got you, boo-boo. I've been doing this a long time and I understand all of the struggles, all of the concerns, all the excuses that you hear on why realtors don't see value in home staging and how you can perfectly curate a feed, articulate your value through social media. And that is why I created Boss Babe Creative. Now, are you ready to go boldly, Boss Babe, and build the business you love?